مساء الخير. صوتي مسموع؟ هل صوتي مسموع؟ واضح، ممتاز. يا سلام على التفاعل، هو كان امتحان لكم عشان اشوف اذا راح تتفاعلوا او لا. رائع، ممتاز. احنا خلال دقيقة راح نبلش عشان احنا حكينا عن 10. حشر عزيزي انت هنا، مبسوط انك انضميت، واهلا وسهلا في الجميع الموجودين. رمضان كريم لكم جميعا، واتمنى انه ما ثقلتوا كثير بالافطار عشان نركز مع بعض. رح تكون عمليه جدا السيشن اللي احنا موجودين فيها. مره ثانيه راح احكي للجميع، المفروض احنا هلا اون تايم نقدر نبلش. رمضان كريم، كل عام وانتم بخير. بتمنى انه الجميع سامعني. المحاضره تكون موجوده على يوتيوب، وراح نقدر انه وحتتسجل طبعا. الشيء الثاني كمان بتمنى من الجميع يحط السبيكر فيو، سبيكر فيو، عشان تقدروا انه اللي بيتكلم تكبر الصوره عندك وتشوف اوضح، لانه فيلمن راح تستخدم السكتشنج to view her work and to teach us some practical things and visual thinking, so it's better with bigger screens. So please حطوا السبيكر فيو افضل عشان اللي بيتكلم يكون السكرين بيجر. اهلا وسهلا في الجميع. انا جميل من جبل عمان ناشرون، برحب فيكم جميعا بالنيابه باسمي وباسم جبل عمان، واهلا وسهلا فيكم في المعرض الافتراضي الاول لجبل عمان ناشرون. نتمنى في المستقبل كمان يكون في معارض اونلاين او فيرتشوال بوك فيرز في السنين الجاي، تكون اكبر، فيها كمان فعاليات اكثر، وهذا كله بيعتمد على تفاعلكم ونجاح هاي الفكره. شكرا كثير لكم. اليوم راح يكون موضوعنا عن السكتش نوتينج او الفيجوال ثينكينج، وراح تكون معنا فيلمن براند. فيلمن براند هي اول شيء مصممه ورياديه اعمال في نفس الوقت. هي خريجه اكاديميه التصميم في ايندهوفن بدرجه الامتياز، حصلت على كثير جوائز في مجال الفيجوال ثينكينج والرسم، واسست استديوهات خاصه فيها للتصميم، بورو براند وبراند بزنس، وشاركت كثير في ورش عمل بشركات عالميه لتعليم الفيجوال كوميونيكيشن واهميته للافراد والمؤسسات. وكمان بحب احكي لكم انه تابعونا بكره، راح يكون في معنا 2 سيشنز، واحده على الساعه 1 ظهرا عن التسويق المباشر مع ألين ديب، والمحاضره الثانيه بالساعه 10 مساء مع بسام الخراشي عن تيسير الابتكار. واذا بضلكم معنا لاخر السيشن هذا اللي هو راح ينتهي على الساعه 11 بتوقيت السعوديه، في مفاجاه لكم راح اخليها للاخر عشان اضمن انكم تضلكم موجودين. وبليز كمان نقطه، اي حدا عنده سؤال ما يكتب على الشات، بليز في Q&A، write your question in the Q&A section. افضل لإلي كمودريتور عشان اقدر اني اتبعها، وافضل لكم عشان ما تضيع بين الشات. تمام. Now Vilman, thank you for joining us. We are really excited about this session and looking forward to learn new things about visual thinking and sketchnoting. Thank you so much for joining us. I know it has been hectic in this time. It's very busy actually. So please tell us about yourself first, then we can start the questions about visual thinking. Go ahead.
Well, first of all, I'm very happy to be here. Thank you for your invitation. My name is Willemien Brandt. I love the way you pronounce it, by the way. I'm a founder of Bureau Brand, and as a child, I always thought that I was not a good learner because all these texts, I couldn't deal with it very well. So my survival was making visual stories of it, to see the coherence, to see what, well, to remember it better. And it took me quite some years, but now we are there and we have written the books as well, but to discover that this is a very powerful skill for communicating. And now we have a bureau, Bureau Brandt, where we have 13 people, all very talented illustrators, facilitators, visual thinkers. And I'm so happy that, well, they are working at home now, so I'm now a little bit feeling sorry or lonely, but happy with these people surrounding me. But I'm also happy with all these people who are reading my books and who are embracing the visual thinking community.
Great, thank you, Vilman. I'm sorry that I pronounced Bond, maybe. I'm not sure how to pronounce it right. But anyway, you're an entrepreneur too, not only a visual thinker. You have your own business. Okay, great. Let's dig down deeper into the visual thinking. What is visual thinking? What do you think? Why it's important? How can we know that we can do that or not? But let's start. What is visual thinking, and why do you think it's important for all?
Okay, I've prepared this one. Well, visual thinking, well, means think visually, of course. And what happens when you are thinking visually? It's a way to organize your thoughts. It's improve the ability or to communicate or just to express yourself. And we have, I'll take this color. No, I would take blue. Here. We think this triangle is our skills for communication, to communicate with each other. So when you speak to each other in meetings or one-to-one person or with a whole group, it tends that this can happen. One voice is much louder than the other ones, or sometimes you think you understand each other, but you are leaving the room with an all other intention that I thought, but we agreed on this, and people are acting otherwise. So words is not the only thing to communicate. Text, a lot of email or reports, big reports. So it happens a lot that it's going unread in a trash bin. So we don't think that you may not speak or you may not read or type, but we think with the powers of the creating yourself, we think that it is very effective. And it's also important to learn this skill as normal in your day-to-day business.
Great. May I translate just for a minute to summarize or recap what you have said? Great. السؤال تبعي كان ايش هو التفكير البصري وليه بنعتقد انه مهم؟ جواب فيلمن كان انه احنا بنعتقد انه في طرق للتواصل بثلاث اشكال، ممكن انه نحكي مع بعض، لكن كثير احيانا الكلام ما بيكونش بيوصل بالطريقه الصحيحه، واحيانا ممكن نقرا شيء معين، واحيانا ما بنفهمه او ما بنستوعبه بالطريقه الصحيحه فبيروح لمكان مش مرغوب. لكن الطريقه اللي هي بتقترحها انه احنا ندمج بين كلامنا والتصوير والكتابه من خلال طريقه فيجوال افضل. وهذا مش حكر على حدا، لكنه مهم جدا لانه الجميع بيقدر يعمله والجميع ممكن انه يفهمه بطريقه افضل بتطلع الكرياتيفيتي تبعتك اكثر. Great. So thank you for the answer. But now that brings us to the second question. Is visual thinking, I saw you drawing. It's beautiful, actually. At the first glance, I thought it's computerized. It's just printed. But I saw you drawing that live. It's impressive. And that brings us to the second question. Is visual thinking for a specific type of people who are talented in drawing or visual by nature or have certain IQ level? Because we hear it a lot that when you show people such drawings, they say, I'm not good at drawing at all, or it's just not for me. I'm awful at drawing. Yeah. So is it for specific people or anyone can learn that?
Well, we think that anyone can learn it, because I'm going to break down all the images you use into very simple forms. I will show you later when we're going to the sketchnote workshop. But a lot of people think they cannot draw. Even persons who are very creative in their heads, they can match things very, very good. So if I say that a round plus a triangle is a bag of money, for example. So this is the mathematics of visualization, or the other way around. It is like this: a circle, a triangle, and it gives you a sort of balloon. Or the last one, a square plus triangle is a letter. But when you are drawing these very basic skills, because we think less lines, more impact. So make it as simple as possible, just like writing or making all these basic symbols. But when you can combine these symbols into a visual story, like, for example, is this? Yes, you can see it. Doing this. Now I've combined the envelope with the, how do you call it in Arabic?
Yeah.
With the,
I'll translate.
Yeah.
The at.
Exactly. And maybe from the comic world, the speed lines, then you have rapid messaging. So this is the thing, how we want to offer you to make it your own and learn this skill. And we keep it very simple. So everybody can draw. Yes, everybody.
Great. I remember when I read your book, maybe at the first few pages, you said it's not a rocket science. Everybody can learn that. Okay, let me translate what you have said briefly, but I think it's clear because you did the visual thinking part. Okay. سؤالي كان، وهذا الجميع بيتعرض له، هل في أشخاص معينين هم ممكن يتعلموا التفكير البصري؟ هل هو لفئة معينة من الأشخاص عندهم قدرات معينة أو ذكاء خاص أو إلى آخره من المهارات، ولا أي حدا ممكن يتعلمه؟ وجواب فيلمن كان إنه keep it simple، خليه بسيط جدا، واللي عملت لنا إياه هو الأشكال الأساسية. أساس الفيجوال ثينكينج الأشياء هذا circle, triangle, square، الدائرة والمثلث والمربع، قدرنا نعمل منهم كثير أشكال. فعشان هيك اي حدا ممكن يتعلمه. والشيء الثاني keep it simple، يعني خليها بسيطه جدا، ما نعقدها بتفاصيل، لكن كل ما كانت ابسط كل ما كانت افضل. وفي اضافات انت مع الوقت تقدر تضيفها، زي مثلا اللتر قدرنا نضيف عليها الات اللي بنستخدمها بالايميلات عشان تبين، والثلاث خطوط اللي هم بيدلوا على السرعه او الاستعجال او انه urgent it's urgent. فكل ما خليناها ابسط اوضح للناس انها تفهمها بيكون افضل. واثنين هي لاي حدا، الجميع بيقدر يتعلمها. اذا انت بتعرف تعمل دائره او مثلث او مربع فخبر صار لك، انت في الطريق الصحيح للتفكير البصري. Okay, that brings us to the third question, and it's very important. Guys, please bring your paper and pen so we can practice together. ارجوكم هلا اذا انتم عندكم ورقه وقلم جهزوهم. فيلمن الآن راح تبلش تعطي أشياء إحنا نتعلمها مع بعض. A step by step approach maybe. Okay, but again, how can we employ that in our business environment؟ يعني كيف نقدر إحنا نطبق الفيجوال ثينكينج في البزنس تبعنا، في المشروع، في اجتماع عمل؟ كيف ممكن هذا الشيء يكون engaging, more engaging for the team through visual thinking? And how can you make it practical? Okay? Please, the mic is yours.
Yeah, thank you. Well, I think it starts with yourself. So it starts with an individual. Just use it in your day-to-day business settings, or use it by sending it by mail or by WhatsApp. Just a one-to-one meeting. And draw while you are discussing things. And the other thing is you can practice it when you are in a meeting or with your team. So this is this I want to show you more of, because it's the next step at the end of this workshop. And now I want to give you some skills to practice it at work. So shall we start first, Jamil, with the workshop then? Is that okay?
Sure.
Okay, perfect. I do have here a very thick black pen. Maybe you can grab a black pen, and I like you to have a colored one too. What I also use is a gray one. And gray I use for the shadowing for all the. So maybe you have. Otherwise, I can imagine. I'll grab my pen there. That you do the shadowing just with a colored pen. Okay. Yes, perfect. Okay, let's start with the figures, because a lot of people think they cannot draw because of all these human figures. It's too complicated. Let's break them down. So if you know what I just showed you, that complex drawings are just broken down to very standard forms, like a square, a triangle, a circle, a boat line, or just a dot, or just a normal line. These are all things, or the turnaround U, all basic shapes for your visual vocabulary. Okay, so I always make an area of no-go. So this is the no-go area. And why? Because people love to know what they do not have to do. So this is the no-go area. So what are you not going to do is, for example, put the head over the body. Yes, it can. Wait, let me do it like this. You can do it like this. Then it's from the back, as you can see. Or you can do it like this. And then he is a very, very much, how do you call it, grumpy, or... Do you want to translate now, Jamil?
Just like 1 minute. كثير احنا بنعتقد انه صعب رسم الاشخاص لانه احنا بنضيع بالتفاصيل، لكن نقدر نعبر عنها بتفاصيل بسيطه زي اللي شفناها فوق بالتيم والشخص. وبعدين اعطى الطريقه النو جو، هم الاشياء اللي ما تعملها. لما ترسم اشخاص لا ترسم الراس مع الجسم ملاصقين مع بعض او متداخلين مع بعض، ممكن تعملهم لكن دون ما يدخلوا الخطوط على بعض. فهي عملت اذا احنا بنلزمهم من بعض ممكن يبين زي شخص بيطلع للخلف او شخص هزيل او حزين.
Thank you. Okay, let's start. I like you to draw 2 puppets, 2 heads to the left and 1 to the right. A little bit space between these 2, and please copy what I'm now doing for you.
Please نعمل زي ما هي بتعمل بالضبط، فارسموا دائرتين جنب بعض ودائرة شوي بعيدة عنهم.
Yeah. Then we have here 2 bodies, and here we go have a body too. So we have 3 puppets. 1 is a little bit more on the side. With gray, but you don't really have to draw this one. It's a help line, a sketch line. We make halves of the faces, and for the eyes we use lines. So instead of dots we use 2 lines, and we have the mouth, so they look at each other now. And it's just because I've put these lines in the left half of the circle and in the right half of the circle. So you don't need a nose or anything. So here this one is very angry because he is excluded. He's not wanted. he's angry. Okay. And now go area again. People often are drawing, when they're drawing the arms, they're often drawing it from here, from the hip. I don't know why, but they are here.
It happens all the time, actually.
Yeah, I can imagine. So please make a curved line here, and 4 little stripes on the left and 4 little stripes on the right, and then you have partnership or love, but in business setting, I tend to partnership.
Beautiful.
And this one is feeling a little bit confused, as you can see, and I use this little line for hands. And don't try to do a hand as long as this. Can you see it? Yeah.
It's clear, yes.
Okay. Yeah, I'll pin my video. Like I see. Yeah, perfect. So that's too long. And now we are going to the gray, or for a color, you can use it as colored as well. But I always put gray inside of the puppet to make it more three-dimensional. We're going to frame it. So with this put a frame surround the 3 persons. Why do I frame it? It's very important that you group. Sometimes you have made so many notes that it's necessary to group things for being one topic. If I am going back to this one, I can group this by doing this. And normally people frame things by going all around it, but when you stop, go further and stop, then you have a perfect frame and it's more fitted in as well. So that's a good tip.
Great.
Okay, I'll give you some time to...
Yes, sure. طيب زي ما احنا شفنا بعض الأشياء ضروري يا جماعة ننتبه على النو جو. النو جو هي الأخطاء اللي احنا بنعملها باستمرار. يعني أنا شخصيا وأنا بعمل دائما الارمز الإيدين ببلشوا من عند الخصر عندي، بعرفش ليش. فإتس a great tip إنه نبلش دائما من الجهة اللي فوق. فانتبهوا على النو جوز. النو جوز is important. ثاني شغله ليه بنعمل فريمينج؟ الفريمينج مهم جدا عشان نحصر المعلومات المتعلقه بالسكتش اللي عملناه. فاحنا كل معلومه نعملها سكتش بنعملها فريم عشان اسهل لي اتبعها في المستقبل، انه هذه الفكره ضمن هذا الفريم اذا هي فكره واحده. اذا الفريم مش موجود او اكبر معناته لسه الفكره بتضم سكتشات اخرى. فالفريم مهم عشان نقدر نميز كل فكره على حده.
Well, thank you.
I'm very quick because I don't draw.
Okay. So these faces, you don't need them always. So for example, I put the body to the backwards. Okay, for you is the other side maybe. And the hand, I put the hand like this. Talk to the hand. And I grab another color for just making this resistance symbol. So if you do pure this figure with a symbol, it's okay. Another one is the happy one, of course. Then you put the eyes and the mouth in the top of the head. And do you know this symbol? There's
Wow.
Bang, yeah, bang, poof. It's an impact cartoon in the cartoon world, of course, used very much. And we use it, for example, for putting it surround the puppet. So it's a glow or a shine. Okay, and the last one is, last two ones is a puppet which has big muscles. And a puppet who are making a deal together. So both the bodies are bowed to each other. And you can do without or with the facial expressions, but with another color, as you can see everywhere, I'm putting another color for the visual story line, for a new line. So this is Timothy and Jerry, and they are making a deal. So it's the second line in what I'm presenting. And you can imagine if I make this all in the same thickness and all these stripes surround it, it's a blur. It's too much. We call it soup. It's all ingredients are the same in one taste. So diverse from color and from structure of your pen. Yeah. Okay. Now we are going to draw a team. And a team, we draw that very easily. It are these bold lines like the McDonald's M, and put there the heads on top of it. And the first one, well, is for us, we are moving this way. Is in your way is from right to left. Okay, think about it in mirrored. The first one is always the one who, come on, let's go. He's the most enthusiastic one. And the last one is a little bit reserved most of the time. Okay. Another symbol I want to give you is organization. So this is individual, this is team, and this is organization. So if this is the Jabal Amman publishers, you can put here on top Jab. Yes, for indicating, of course, in their color, of course, you use the color of the logo, of course. So this is organization. It's very simple. Keep it so. Keep also you can add another building to it. But let these windows be specific. And we have another one, and that's global. So global, I always use gray because it's most of the time, also when you say it in words, we work globally, it's at the end of the sentence. So we work with JP globally, then, or just for, you put it in gray. So that's visual hierarchy. Don't make it soup, let's call this soup, but work in layers. Okay, Jamil, success.
طيب احنا هلا كنا عم نحاول نحطها في بيئة العمل، فاعطينا اعطت شوية أمثلة عنهم، زي الانديفيدوال اللي فوق، التيم هو زي حرف الام تبع ماكدونالدز، بعض الإضافات، بس بدنا ننتبه من بعض الأشياء إنه زي الاثنين الماسكين إيديهم، نحتاج إنهم يكون في تشكيل في الألوان وشوية مساحة بين الإيدين، عشان إذا زي ما إحنا شايفين تحت تسميها بعرفش كل بلد بجوز تحكي شغله، إحنا بنسميها الشوربة، بعرفش إيش بتسموها، بس بتكون إنه كلها متداخلة مع بعض التفاصيل تبعها، فلا بدك شوية مساحات بيناتهم زي اللايرز موجودين، وبتحتاج لتشكيل بالألوان. وأخيراً الانستتيوشن أو المؤسسة. المؤسسة بنقدر نعمل زي مبنيين جنب بعض، الشبابيك بشكل خطوط، وإذا بدنا نعملها جلوبال بنحط زي الشكل اللي هو موجود في خطوط أو لايرز موجودين لها عشان تبين إنها جلوبال. Go ahead.
Okay. let's make our first visual story together.
هلا بدنا نبلش نعمل فيجوال ستوري، قصة كاملة فيجوال.
We start in the top. We need all paper and network with big letters. Network. Not too big because I need space here in top of your drawing. Surround the text. You make a rectangle. Behind the first rectangle, you make another on the left side and on the left side and the right side. And please let it end in the middle of the front rectangle. And then from inside to front, you make a line and the color, you fill it with black. Yeah. Oops. Yeah. The frame, very important, as I said before. But now it's important because this could be your first step of working visual in your business surroundings. This can on a whiteboard you can put there, or you can also put it on a flip chart. And with sticky notes, you can ask people to add information or whatever you need, whatever inputs you want to generate. But now we are going to do something else with this drawing. This is the title of the drawing. So please repeat with me or copy me. We are making here a team of 3 persons. Here, let's make 4, and here 3 and 2 persons. Then we are grabbing another color and we make big circles surround the team. Maybe it's the same in your country, Jamil, but here are lying these awful standard colors like green, blue, and red at the whiteboards and at the flip chart.
Yeah.
And you're tending to use for each group another color. No, I want you to use less color, and so less as possible, because infographics are made simple with less objects, and color tells its own story. So when I put here a thin line, a dotted line, and a thick line, I tell that these groups are very much aligned with each other, working a lot with each other. They don't need each other very much, and this is a normal once per week cooperation. Another thing is that with blue, I can give them a sort of pattern. Just with one color, I can diverge a team in 3 colors. Or I can give them a crown. And I'm not sure how it is in your country, but we have this saying client is king. So that's why we draw a person with a crown is the client, and we want to empower the client. We want to do everything that he or she is happy. So that's why we give it a crown. But, and this person, for example, can be a manager. And I know it's, well, in our country, it's more and more that the ties are gone, I think. There's, okay, at the government, they wear it still. But a tie is also a hierarchic symbol. So that's why we use it. And when some ladies sometimes asked, but can a manager also be a girl? Yes, can also be a girl, but with tie. So I have made this pattern here, and I can give here, accidentally I give the client also this pattern, but you can imagine that in the network of cooperation, that the people who have the stripes, mostly the IT architect, for example, we have to look for them. And when there are new persons, we want to just wait a minute. Yeah. So I've made a new sticky note. This one. And you can imagine that with a PowerPoint, you have a slide, and then with one push on the button, there will be a new thing in the slide. But now you're working analogically. So analogically together, and that means that you can ask, where shall we put these new IT architects? Which division needs them most? You rip it, or you say no, let's get rid of it. It's not a way of talking to each other. You are challenged to make solutions. No, let's give him an internship, and then it's also okay. Okay, Jamil, success.
Okay, great. That's very 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 important. Okay, بالبدايه دائما نتذكر، راح احكي تبس بشكل سريع لانه معظمه كان فيجوال. فاهم شيء لما نعمل الشيء اللي بدنا نسويه دائما نتذكر نحط الفريم. واحد. اثنين، التب الثانيه المهمه، لا تكتر الوان. احنا كثير مرات بنميل انه نحط الوان، لا، keep it simple. كل كلر يعمل كود، فلا تكتر من الالوان الموجوده. ثلاثه، زي ما الباوربوينت ممكن تضيف elements، ايضا انت ممكن تستخدم الستيكي نوتس لاضافات على الرسم الرئيسي. فانت ممكن تحط فريم كامل، وهذا الفريم الكامل تضيف عليه ستيكي نوتس كمدخلات ممكن تغييرها. That's it. I just pinned the tips, the main tips.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, now I'm going to add something in the back of the teams, because as you have learned before, you can do from which organization you can do buildings. You can draw the buildings. I am drawing them at the back of the teams. And why? Because it's not the most important thing, which is in my story is important. It's the second information line. So, for example, this is Amman. They are situated. This team is situated in Amman. This one in Amsterdam. Of course, it's our country. And this one in Bangkok, for example. So as you can see, I just add letters. I write. That's possible. It's not it's not that you only have to draw. No, you can use also text.
Great. طيب بس قبل ما اترجم، في اشخاص عم بيحكوا ثبت الصوره على المحاضره لما انا اكون بتكلم بترجم. انت بتقدر تعمل على صوره المحاضره بن فيديو. لما تعمل بن فيديو خلص، حتى لو انا تكلمت حتضلها المحاضره عندكم. بعرف مش بهالوسامه انا لكن يعني عشان افضل، اذا حابين تكون المحاضره مباشره عندكم اعملوها بن فيديو. طيب again بعض الاضافات ممكن تكون من خلال احرف. فمثلا احنا اضفنا ابنيه مع احرف زي الاي ام عمان، اي ام اس امستردام، والى اخره من الدول. انت ممكن تحط ار دي رياض مثلا. فبقى ممكن انت تستخدم الاحرف للتدليل على الاماكن.
Yes, are you ready? Very nice language.
Thank you.
Okay. What is also important for your visual story? It can be, as I just introduced to you, a big, more infographic story. network, for example, but it can also be a symbol which has combined symbols in it. So, for example, when I'm looking for alignment for team, that the team has a goal, they share the goal, something like that. So I'm going to Google, and on Google I find, for example, by the icon finder or by Google icons or Google Factor, I find all these little separated icons. This is goal, of course. I find for alignment an arrow, or I find for team just this symbol of teams. And for me, when I'm looking for, well, I hear people saying this, when they are looking for a symbol, just what fits their story in their PowerPoint, they're always having this symbol what is not quite the fit, the match. And this is the way of drawing it yourself. For example, alignment. I start with the bodies and I put them a little bit forward. And then I make the arrow like this. And with red, of course, with red, I am making the bullseye. I add some gray. And now I have team alignment. So these were the basic icons I find on the internet at Google, and Google is your big friend, I assure you. Another one is, for example, shall I do a very complicated one or shall I do a very simple one? No, I do the complicated one. Do you know the gear? Always, when I'm trying to draw this in the past, I didn't make it right. It wasn't fitting at the end as well. So this is the way to do so. With gray or with pencil, you draw a circle, and with black, you get these lines. At 90 degrees, small lines, and between them, you put half circles to connect them, and a little circle in the middle. And this is a gear. We use it a lot for implementation, smooth processing, or when it is not going smooth, you just draw the opposite. Make one again. So here you have the 90 degrees. You put these lines between them. And then you connect everything with half circle in the middle. Okay, I always make them gray because it's a metal, it has a metal look. And movement lines are gray as well, of course. But now I'm making a story of this. So I'm drawing 3 people. I'm going to the first one, to the second one. And then I have added the 2 of them together. And I can put with another color maybe. In this one, I make it a container with data. So what would be my story now? I found a visual story for, okay, we are going in a new implementation of new data or business implementation where we can use different applications, but don't forget that the people have to work with it and that they can work with it. Jamil.
Okay, طيب ببساطة هي عم تحكي هلا كيف ممكن نجمع أكثر من إيليمنت أو أكثر من رسمة لنشكل قصة كبيرة. فمثلا عندنا البولز آي أو العيان هاي اللي بالنص مع سهم ومع الفريق الموجود عندنا، كيف ممكن نعمل من هدول الثلاث رموز توافق بين الفريق؟ ففي عندنا طريقتين، طريقة بسيطة، طريقة شوي أصعب قليلا. فممكن إحنا في البداية نعمل الرسمة الفوقانية اللي هي عمل التيم اللي هي العنصر الأساسي، ومنه بنطلق السهم، وبالنهاية بلون آخر بنعمل العيان تبع تصويبة السهم. أو ممكن نعمل بطريقة أصعب شوي، وأعطتنا الطريقة كيف ممكن نعمل عجلة الدولاب تبعت المصانع بدلالة على العمليات البروسيسز، العمليات. فحكت إنه إحنا أول شيء لازم نعمل 90 درجة 94 درجة جنب بعض، بعدين بنحط خطوط قصيرة بيناتهم، بعدين بأنصاف دوائر، وبالآخر بنقطة بالنص عشان تكون عندنا العجلة. بعدين بنرسم الفريق بلون آخر وبنعمل زي خط بيناتهم دلالة على التوائم. ومن خلالها احنا بنقدر نحكي قصة انه احنا الآن في عملية جديدة تحتاج عشان نتلائم الفريق يعمل معا فيها لنجاحها. Go ahead.
Okay, I want to give you some examples now. So I hope that this was, I will take you to my PowerPoint. I will share screen.
Sure. But I just forgot one thing. وشغلة أساسية لما ندور على رموز أو أيقونات، جوجل is your friend. جوجل صديقك. دور دائما في جوجل حتلاقي أشياء وأنت بتقدر إنها تحطها عشان تكون أكثر تلاؤم مع الفريق تبعك عشان تشجعه يشتغل معك. Yes.
I understand that Google is your big friend.
Yeah.
I'm always looking for help with Google. And I'm a big fan of the Noun Project.
The Noun Project is mine.
Yes? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let me share something with you. Yeah. Because now I have showed you that, I hope I showed you that drawing isn't that difficult. So what's happening when you are going to draw in a business setting? I think, can I annotate? Yeah, I think that it's a way of communicate faster. I think that you can be much more to the point, but also the hidden links are gone. Well, let me clear all drawings. Yeah, sorry. I think that well, most of it can happen that within a business project, people are doing double work or unnecessary work, or they are not understanding each other, and visual thinking or drawing can be so much help and give higher engagement to your project. And of course, it's really a much fun. Oh, wait. Sorry. Yes, well, this is quite scary, I think, but but we think if you are, once you think you can, it's a all different world for you. Also, in the cooperation. Well, this one we done. Here you can see the Noun Project. These are icons from the Noun Project, and as you can see, they're very simple, and you can draw them easy. You can copy them very easy. Okay, I will show you some business examples. So on the left side, well, at the bottom, you see a big report. And how can you put a big report to one drawing, a very convincing drawing?
Vilman, I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah.
It seems people, they can't see the shared screen.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure why. I'm trying to figure it out. I see your screen. For me, it's clear.
I will do it again, but I don't.
Now, okay. people do you see it please يا جماعة عم بتشوفوها هيك تمام اوكي الجميع شافها واضح رائع very good طيب فيلمن could you please just for a moment go back again so people because it wasn't clear to them now it's clear just in a hurry just if you can share again the Google and the noun project.
Yeah, so
Okay.
here is the noun project and Google is your big friend. Please just copy and make your own visual story by combining it. This is an example of the noun project for compliance. All the symbols when I put compliance in because that's very difficult one to draw. And now I have some examples of how people work with visual skills or work visually together. Oh, sorry, I'll get my pen. Yeah, I'm back. On the left, we let people draw pieces of the big report. And then we let people put it on an underlying plan, like a roadmap. And afterwards, our studio, but you can also make a hand-drawn drawing, of course, worked it out in this visual story. These are from the book, from Visual Doing as well. For a few examples, we use the hopping islands is a very nice metaphor for making your story. Roadmap is a very good one as well. This one is just for a sales project sales where we have different steps, as you can see, 1 till 7. And on the left side, there were different groups in the organization. They had to, well, they were not aware of activities of each other. And this was the way that they react on each other. And at the end, they helped each other. So it was a day of great insights. And this is for also a product launch. And we made a big brown paper. And we let people draw the content on, for example, moments of meanings, the barriers, the drivers, the key actors. And then to share this story also to the management. And these are templates. So we had in a workshop, different people were generating input, and they want to have a lot of ideas. And you see the two left ones are both had the same template, but one group just filled it in with sticky notes, and the other one just with text, which is all right, of course. Yes, that means that I'm at the end and I can answer some questions for the last 10 minutes.
Yes.
Our bureau helps companies, teams, and employees to make work more simple and more meaningful. And we really want to help. And the JEP publishing.
Yes, JEP.
Yeah, well, you have translated our book Visual Thinking, and well, we're very proud of it, and I hope you will have a lot of pleasure and joy working with it. Within our bureau, we can help you to apply or adapt visual ways of working, of course, and in addition of our books, we have online trainings. So you can go to our bureau, our website. But you can also ask JEP questions if you want to organize something like this or something else.
Thank you. Thank you, Vilman. That was great. Let me just translate the last part in a few seconds. فرجت صور من ورشات عمل انعملت مع أفريقيا كيف عملوها تقسيم كل فريق وحتى ضمن نفس المؤسسة كل ديبارتمنت كيف تم تقسيمه عشان بطريقة فيجوال ضمن أنماط التمبلتس هي الأنماط فإحنا بنقدر نرسم أنماط نستخدم الملصقات الستيكي نوتس، وهذه الملصقات ممكن نقسمها لانه نحط التارجت تبعنا او القصه تبعتنا بالسيلز، او كل فريق من الافرقه نعرف شو بيقدم للاخر. وبالاخر حكيت كمان عن بيورو الشركه تبعتهم، الخدمات اللي بيقدموها والاونلاين كورسز او التدريبات الاونلاين اللي بيعملوها. واحنا كمان اطلقنا كتاب اللي هو التفكير البصري، الفيجوال ثينكينج باللغه العربيه. ولمعلوماتكم كان الافضل مبيعا في معرض الشارقه ومعرض جده الماضيين كليا، كان الافضل مبيعا. وحتى في معرض مسقط العام هذا الكتاب في اليوم الخامس من اصل 10 ايام كان نفذت الكميه كامله. كتاب رائع جدا. ولانكم هلا رح نستقبل اسئله منكم، ولانكم التزمتوا لاخر المحاضره، احنا عاملين خصم على الكتاب بقيمه 25%. الكود هو هلا رح تلاقوه على الشات، جبل عمان رح يرسله، VT15 بس سمول ليترز مش كابيتال ليترز، VT25. VT25 هو خصم 25% discount on the book only for the coming hour، فقط للساعه القادمه. سو اغتنموا الفرصه. وتذكروا انه الشحن كمان عندنا مجاني لاي طلبات فوق ال $42 او 150 ريال، فبتقدر تضيفه وتاخذ عليه 25% ديسكاونت. VT25. طيب خلينا ناخذ الاسئله. Now we have some questions. طيب let me check the questions first. Okay, some questions were about the screen. We'll pass it. ممكن مشكور اقتراحات لكلمات بحث نستخدمها بجوجل. Someone is asking what are some of the keywords that we can use to search on Google, and you just stated the noun project, or you can just, yeah, sure, go ahead.
Yeah. So when you are going to Google Images, you have this searching field. So put your word which you are looking for, put it in the searching field. Just add item or factor or illustration. And then you will get these simplified symbols. And this one, the noun project. Yeah, I'm a big fan of this one. And Jamil as well. So next two of us. Yeah.
Great, thank you. مختصر، انت بس ادخل على الجوجل ايمجز وحط الكلمه اللي بتدور عليها، وبعديها حط كلمه ايكون او فيكتور او illustration، او بتقدر تروح على thenounproject.com بتقدر تشوف كميه هائله من الايقونات بشكل مباشر عليها. Okay. Let me read the next question. If you don't want to use an actual flip chart, is there a way to do this virtually? Any program or app that can help with us, especially when conducted virtual meetings? Great question.
Great question. Let me try to put my iPad on. Share screen. iPad. Zien gewoon naar weergave. Yeah. So here you see my iPad.
هل بتشوفوا الايباد تبعها واضح؟
And of course this is PowerPoint, but I do also have where is it? Adobe Draw. I've made my book in Adobe Draw. And well, this one, for example. And where is my pen? Oh, I do not have my pen here, but you can draw on the spot. You can do things like this, and then you can share it. Is it all right?
Excellent. Yeah.
I do have another one. And I have prepared this one. Yeah, share. There's also from Google, you have Jamboard. And Jamboard is, they have, well, I don't know how many pages you can have, but you can make it just by drawing. You can draw yourself, or you can add a new sticky note. Bloop, bloop. Opslaan. Yeah. And you can put it somewhere, or I did make for Bangkok, I did make this one. Yeah. So you can make feedback forms. People can add, if there are a lot of people together, you see all these sticky notes going from left to right. And we're working also with more complicated collaboration boards like Miro and Mural. So this is a big tip. This is a Jamboard. I will put it in the chat.
Please. Yes.
Next question.
Okay. Well, it's a complicated question actually for me. Do you think that the Egyptian hieroglyphy, I think, you know, the sketching for the pharaohs and
Yes.
yeah, and the Egyptian pyramids, was it a better way? Was it a better way to communicate better, even better than languages?
Well, I think I'm not so very acquainted with it, but so how I see it is that it is really art of storytelling, and people are in generation after generation can tell the same story because of and they can use their own words and their own fantasy, but in principle, in basic, it's the same message. So I think that's really powerful.
Great. There's a repetition in some questions. What is the application you use on the tablet? She just answered that. Adobe, right? Sketch.
Draw.
Yeah. Okay. And also on Google, Adobe Draw. Okay. And also there's what was the name of the Google
Jamboard.
Okay, Jamboard. Okay. You've written that. Okay. And finally, some people are asking for your Instagram account to follow you. So if you can state it, please. And that we'll call it a day.
Nice. It's bureau.brand for Instagram. And for me is, of course, Willemien Brandt. And maybe we are launching a new hashtag, and it's I work visually. I work
visually. Great. We don't have more questions. I hope people enjoyed this great session. There's a new question. Do you offer online trainings? You just stated that on your website. Thank you so much, Willemien. We really appreciate your coming in spite of your busyness. That was amazing. I enjoyed it very much. جمهورنا العزيز، شكرا جدا لكم ولانتظاركم لهلا. تذكروا انه في الكود الفي تي 25 وتذكروا بكره كمان في عندنا محاضرتين مهمات جدا. رح يكون معنا ألين ديب اللي هو مؤلف كتاب خطة تسويق في صفحة واحدة، رح يتكلم معنا لايف مع دكتور عزيز ماضي على الساعة 1 مساء، وبالمساء رح نتكلم عن تيسير الابتكار facilitating innovation. برضه رح يكون معنا بسام الخراشي من السعودية، وراح يحاوروا محمد خواجة على الساعة 10 مساء بتوقيت السعودية. Thank you so much. المحاضرة رح تكون موجودة على يوتيوب، تقدروا تتابعوها مرة ثانية. Thank you so much. رح نبعث المعلومات على الواتساب جروب للمحاضرات الجاية. See you.
Thank you, Jamil. I'm going to close we will have contact tomorrow. Is it okay?
Okay, sure.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.